Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
Daddy, I love him.
My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello, welcome back to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Sonny.
And today we're going to do part 2 of the most beautiful places on Earth.
According to us.
Yeah, well, it would be according to anyone. Anyone's got their opinion on that, haven't they?
That's what I mean. According to us, is the best places in the world.
So just to recap...
Most beautiful places in the world. Yeah.
Just to recap, we went around the world for a year with our kids 18 months ago, went to 32 countries. And yeah, that's one of the questions people like to ask is like, oh, which was the best country? Which was the most beautiful country in the world that you went to? So this is part 2 of the podcast. So if you haven't listened to part 1, just hop along and listen to the episode before this. Go on then, Bum. What was your most beautiful place?
So these aren't in order, but this is the first one that I've written down. So Obama City in Japan was really beautiful. So he stayed with a couch surfer who really loved. He was quite unique because he just loved everything American, which you wouldn't think Japanese people would love America so much, because they're very cultural and family and ancestors and stuff. But he just really loved America. And he had a urinal in his bathroom, and he'd walk around with American football shirts on, and he was just, very unique Japanese man. But he just had
Did you ever use that urinal?
Yes, I did use that urinal. Yes, urinal.
Why would that make someone American just because they've got a urinal in their bathroom?
Well, it would in Japan, wouldn't it? Because it didn't have urinals in Japan.
No, but...
Unless they do, I'm not sure.
No. And he had his American baseball jacket on and everything,
that's why I said football shirts, yeah.
What was his American name? Do you remember?
I cannot know.
His American name was Frank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He had an American name?
Yeah, like he said, oh, you can call me Fumio or you can call me Frank.
We went with Fumio.
Yeah, we did.
Fumio, yeah.
Fumio, yeah.
But no, he had an incredible house because he was samurai. His family was samurai, and he owned the whole Obama City. Wait, was it Obama City, wasn't it? The place
He didn't own Obama City, but...
Yeah, it was a village.
There was a village just outside Obama City. Is that the one you're talking about?
And it was really, really nice.
But he said he owned the mountain, though.
Yeah, he did.
His family owned the mountain.
But the mountain was just so beautiful. And it was just so tranquil and peaceful with that river running through it. And, just gently blowing in the breeze. Bamboo and all those... When we went for a walk once in the rain, and there was little toads in the paddy fields, and they were croaking. It was just wow, this is really beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was just really, really nice. That I really thought it was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I agree with you there. It was just... felt so safe, didn't it? Because it's this tiny little village, and like you say, just surrounded by all those trees. And everyone was really, really friendly. And his house was just... I know I say this every time, but that's the best night's sleep I ever had was in his house.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were in this room overlooking his garden. He had this lovely garden with all those... what are those fish that the Japanese people like?
Koi.
Koi, yeah. And it was overlooking that, and it was like a big rockery, and these big sliding...
paper doors.
Yeah, paper doors, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we were given the mats to sleep on, the futons, and it's just so lovely there.
It was really nice.
I really liked it.
Well, how about your channel, your YouTube channel? Because you did a video of that, didn't
you?
Yeah, did a YouTube video of that place. Just Sonny Deacle Cinematics.
Go and see it, because it's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and also tell about when you showed Fumio your video that you made for him.
I made him a video, and he watched it continuously for hours, didn't he? Just on loop, because he just thought it was so beautiful. And it was weird for him to see his city from above, because we had a drone and everything, and he just loved it. Really, really loved it, didn't he?
You know what? When you make something for someone, I don't know, I was just thinking then, because you're always making videos and things, and when you show someone something, that was just the ultimate reaction you'd want to have, wasn't it?
It was. He stood up in amazement and walked towards the television and looked at it, and he was just like, oh my God, wow. He
was just beaming from ear to ear, wasn't he? Do you remember? He stood in front of the TV and he kept saying, again, show me again. You must have just felt brilliant.
Yeah, it was just wow. But it was nice to repay him for all the hospitality that he gave us, and the rooms and the food and everything like that. It was just,
So if you want to see that video, the one that Fumio was just so blown away with, again, go to YouTube and go and see Sonny's channel. What's your channel?
Sonny Deacle Cinematics.
Sonny Deacle Cinematics.
SONNYDEACLE Cinematics.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes and just go and see it because it's absolutely beautiful.
Your turn.
All right, my turn. So I'm going to go back to India and I'm going to go to Kerala in India, in the south of India. Kerala was the first place that we went to when we turned up in India, and having never been, I was not expecting that. I was actually quite, because everyone had been saying, oh, India, it's dirty, and you're going to have to expect this and that, and it's very poor, and blah, 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 just all the stuff that they say about India. And Kerala is, we stayed in is it a city or a town called Alapi? Alappuzha, you can also say, can't you?
I would say it's big enough to be a city.
Yeah.
Probably in India, it's probably a town.
And so sorry, India people who are going to say, oh, that's not a town, it's a city, but yeah. And we went to stay there, and it was just gorgeous because we actually went to take the boat along what's it called? The backwaters.
The backwaters,
that's what Kerala's famous for, is the backwaters. And I think it's called the greenest state in India as well. Mm-hmm. And it's just, you take we took a canoe with a canoe not driver, what's it called? Guide.
Yeah.
But you can take big fancy riverboats, they're all different things that you can take along the canals. You can just take a water taxi.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just these intricate little canals, and people are living along down the side, and they're out doing their washing and just, doing their everyday chores outside. And it is peaceful. It is so peaceful and it is so green. And I think what really stood out to me there was the ladies were always in like bright colours, which Indian ladies are.
Yeah.
Do you remember like those bright, really cerise pink dresses, sarongs?
Sarongs.
Saris.
Saris, yeah.
And it just really stood out against the green, the lushness of the green at the side of the canals.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the most peaceful ever. It was just beautiful, and we had the best meal ever in Kerala. And we met the nicest tuk-tuk driver in Kerala.
Yeah, we did.
It was just, it's got so much going for it. If you're going to go to India, obviously loads of other places in India, but I would have to say, as well as Udaipur, go to Kerala because it will just blow you away. It was just, I just loved it.
Yeah, it was really nice, wasn't it?
Go on then, your turn.
All right.
Because I'm just going to keep going on.
So I've gone with New Zealand this time.
Mm-hmm. Where we live.
Yep. And it's Lake Rotorua. And Rotorangi. There's so many. Rotorua, Rotorumano, Rotorangi, Rotorua. So many Rotos. But it's a big, massive, long, almost looks more like a river than a lake, but like a really wide river. It's man-made, and there's a big dam at the end of it. But it's the best place in the world for water skiing and biscuiting and stuff like that, because it's just an endless, continuous stream of water, smooth water. And it's just surrounded in the most amazing scenery you've ever seen, Looks like Jurassic Park mixed with Hawaii, mixed with...
It does, doesn't it?
All these different places mixed together with all these big hills, you could be... I know you're in New Zealand, but you could be in so many different places when you're there, And then on one side you've got a big field full of cows and electric fences, and then on the other side you've got complete untamed jungle and wilderness, and it's just like, wow. And it's always changing. You go around every corner, and there's a little house on the hill. And then you go around the next one, and there's a little campsite with no one there. And then you go around the next one, and it's just forest, just jungle, bush, as they call it in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But no one knows what bush is unless you live in New Zealand or Australia.
Yeah, when we first moved to New Zealand, they said, "Oh, we're going for a walk in the bush." I was thinking, well, because a bush is a bush, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
a little bush.
Is like a little bush, and I was imagining all these like little bushes everywhere, and you'd like go prickling your legs as you went wading through these little bushes.
Gonna go walk through a bush.
Yeah.
No, through the bush. So a bush walk. So yeah, just.
But it's like a forest.
Like
bush,
it is just. I'm looking at it now out the window, but it's just like the jungle. Yeah, but it's just really incredible, beautiful. I really like it.
The jungle without the spiders.
Well, there is big spiders, like that massive one out on the deck. But no, it's probably one of the most beautiful places in New Zealand, especially the drive to it as well.
I know, I love the drive to it. Do you know what I love the most? And I'm not just saying this because you're going to go, oh yeah, you're bound to say that. I just love it when you come over the hill and all the Wi-Fi goes off. I love that, Sonny. No, because it is. And we have to stop listening to our music because we can't listen to Spotify anymore. And it's just silence, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know that whether you like it or not, for the next 5 hours, because we always go down there for the day, there's no internet. And it's just, I don't know, you just feel like a big weight has been lifted. It's like stepping back in time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just that. And you can't say that you don't like it.
That's why I like going with our friends, because then at least you got someone to talk to, you know? Unless, with you and our grandparents. Oh, not that we, great with our grandparents, been the best food. But when you're sitting there and you're all talking about, I don't know, and then you're just kind of sitting there like, can we go jet skiing? I'm just going to finish my sausage sandwich. All right. But no, it's just,
It is. Pardon?
You did a video of it.
Yes, we've got a video on exactly that place. I forgot about that. I don't think I've put that up on anywhere. I think that's just on my post, but I'll put it on YouTube and you can go and see. Sonny did a video of the whole day of going to this lake, so you'll be able to see it and you'll see exactly. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's a good video.
Good memory, Bri.
Well done, Mr. Man, in the corner.
My next place, I'm going to go with Ella in Sri Lanka. East of Colombo, we got the train from Colombo to Ella, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, everywhere in Sri Lanka it was hard for me to decide. And I have got another place in Sri Lanka that I was going to say, but Ella is one of those places that I think because it was just so unexpected, I didn't expect it to be like that. Because Sri Lanka is just like, it was quite flat, Sri Lanka, in the places that we'd been to. We went to Marissa, and obviously there's hills and things like that, but
there was almost no background drop other than the buildings,
Yeah.
And what you could see, it was almost just like a very small visual radius. You never saw more than maybe 100 meters in each direction.
And maybe that's why when you go to Ella, your eyes can stretch out. And again, it's just masses and masses of mountains and just all around you.
Almost, it reminds you of what? Have you got Kandy on there?
No.
Okay, because Kandy's the place in the big valley, isn't it?
And, am I getting confused? Oh, no, yeah, no. Ella is where...
Ella's in the hills and where the bridge is and stuff like that.
Nine Arch Bridge.
Kandy to Ella is the train.
Yeah.
But Kandy...
Excuse me, this is my thing.
But Kandy, I was going to say, kind of reminds me of Rio. You know how it's got, how you'd think Rio would be like.
Yeah.
But anyway, carry on with your...
No, that was it. And we just we climbed Little Adam's Peak, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it
Little
was...
Adam.
Yeah. And it was like this peak that you climb up to, and just Tess sat out on this like jutted out rock, and it was just endless. The view was just endless, wasn't it? Of just like all these hills down and valleys, and it was a misty day, and just all the greenery, and I don't know. It was the smell of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
You've got to go to Sri Lanka just to smell the smell. And I know Brian was always like, oh, the fires. Oh, that stinks.
Oh, my nose. My old nose can't handle the fires.
You did used to moan about the smell of the fires. But no, Sri Lanka has just got, again, it's just that, how do you say it? It's just that musty, isn't it? It's just a leafy, earthy.
Fire.
No, it's not. And it's just, and I think when we went to Ella, you could have that. Stop looking at me like that, Sonny. You just went like this again. You can just stretch your eyes. And also there's like the town of Ella, it's almost like it's bigger than a village. You can say town. So it reminded me of a ski resort. If you've ever been to a ski resort, so like when you walk through the streets and there's like lots of little cafes and bars, lots of bars, wasn't there? Mm-hmm. Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Because I just looked over and you just like looking down as if you were listening.
No, I was just turning away to do that to my nose.
Yeah, all right. So, and lots of little cafes and bars and things like on the side of the road, and and then you just walked down the end of the road. I almost want to say it was like a chalky road, there was no cars on that road, was there? Or was there?
No, there wasn't.
Was there?
Was there?
I don't seem to remember seeing
any cars, just like motorbikes and tuk-tuks and stuff.
Yeah, it was almost like a chalky thing on the floor.
Do you remember we saw, off topic, do you remember when we were in Marissa and we saw that guy who would always walk around shirtless and sit on the beach? And then we travelled literally halfway across the country, and he was there,
He was
walking
in
up the
Ella.
road.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that's right.
Follow us?
Well, that's because in Sri Lanka, there's the set places that tourists tend to go, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
Ella, Kandy, Marissa, go and see the elephant sanctuary. So, yeah, that's probably why. But it was a bit of a coincidence, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it was just, it didn't really feel that touristy there. I was expecting it because you've got the Nine Arch Bridge and, like I say, Little Adams Peak and Adams Peak, and it just... It never felt touristy. We went in January, which was, the height or whatever. Yeah.
It was really
just liked
nice.
it there. I did. I
Just
liked
thinking
it.
now about all the coincidences that we had when we were travelling. Like we met Saul Piran twice in Marissa, and then again in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Yep, and then that guy in
Yeah, it's
Marissa
weird,
again,
isn't it?
and then we saw him in Ella, and then do you remember we had we used to have a friend called Charlie, and do you remember we said that the girl looked like Charlie, and we saw her in the backwaters.
Yeah.
And then
in
we saw
India.
her later again, halfway across India, in
Yeah.
the same hut on the
Yeah.
beach where there was like loads of huts
Yeah.
that they were staying in the same place as us.
Yeah.
And it was just like weird. Like we always had coincidences like that,
Yeah.
seeing people twice months later in the
I
same
know,
place. It
like
was
the
just
same
like
person. It's
the
like, oh my
whole
God,
world,
that's that
7
woman from
billion
India.
people,
Yeah.
and you see the same person.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
And that's why, when people say to you, oh, what would it be like to be travelling on your own? I don't think you would ever really feel on your own. Not when
No.
you look at things like that. There's always there seems to be a group of people at the time that you're travelling, going around travelling at the same time, just like, so you seem to see them or bump into them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's pretty similar when you turn up at an airport and you see someone and you end up sitting next to them on the plane.
Yeah, but it is. But at least there you're
Oh, you
like
mean
in an
like- yeah.
airport. Yeah.
You see someone random that for some reason catches your eye, and then they're like in the next row next to you. It's like,
But what you're saying was the guy that we met in a little beach hut in Sri Lanka, on the beach in Sri Lanka,
yeah.
and we saw him in the middle of Bangkok,
Yeah.
which is so
In a
packed.
shop, like just the one shop that I turned and looked into, and there he was, just standing there.
Anyway,
it was just
hello.
like, yeah, hello guys, how's it going? Just like, but no,
And then we saw him again, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just...
yeah, the next
Yeah.
day on the other side in the park,
Yeah.
walking along with this umbrella, just like a little guardian angel
He
walking from
was.
amongst the crowd as they parted, and here he came through with a ray of light shining
I
down on him.
loved him. He's English, and he spoke exactly like Sonny just said, that, hello.
Yeah.
And he carried his little umbrella, didn't he? He was like trotting
Yeah,
along.
always happy.
Yeah, he was always happy.
Always had that blue shirt on. That's I
Yeah.
think how I recognised him because I saw the blue shirt and I was like, that's like the shirt Piran used to. Oh, it's Piran. I was just like, yeah. But anyway, next place for me. Do you want me to do my last place now,
Yeah,
or do you want to do
yeah.
your next place? Because I know you had 4 and I had 3.
I don't mind.
But it's just one of the most basic places that everyone's going to say, and that's France, which is Paris.
Oh, yeah.
I just like Paris so much because of just that one scene in my mind of Eiffel Tower and then the train going across past was just like, wow.
Isn't it funny? Because that's my memory of Paris too.
Yeah.
That's my favourite
I didn't like
memory.
going to see all the shops like Sephora and stuff like that. I just didn't like that street. And
Champs-Élysées.
yeah, you're walking down the street and then you look over and there's 2 massive guys, really big guys, standing next to a Lamborghini, obviously guarding it. And while the owner's in the shop, but we thought that was gang activity, and it was like, oh, exciting. But
Why
but no,
didn't you like that?
I don't know, because it just felt weird. It was just like, oh, it's a bit, oh, I don't know, just the way that they stood there with their sunglasses on, like massive guys, and it was just like drug money. But might have been a celebrity, but I don't know, and that always for some reason sticks with me. And then just the place we were staying was really nice. It was just nice and secluded and out of the way. But yeah, no, Paris was just really nice. Just seeing the Eiffel Tower and going up it and seeing all the sights. Notre Dame as well, was because we went there before it burned down. And it was just like, wow, this is amazing, just to see it and stuff. The guy playing his saxophone in the courtyard with all the pigeons flying around him. And it was just and then walking along the Seine in the stifling heat. And then we went into that me and you went to that little supermarket on the other side of town and got like bread and stuff, and because we didn't want to eat in one of the restaurants, and made little sandwiches underneath the bridge next to the river and stuff. I know, it was really nice.
It was, wasn't it?
Just a nice time there,
I'll never forget that morning because we were couch surfing or servers. We were staying with servers, weren't we? And again, we'd come out really... It's always the best when you get out really, really early, especially in a city, just before the city's waking up and just everyone is just like really quiet. Do you remember all the guys were underneath the Eiffel Tower setting out their blankets and putting out their little trinkets to sell and everything? And I don't know if you remember, but I had a bee in my bonnet and we were like, we're going to do some reading, like, we're going to just have a quiet time. And we all took our Kindles and we sat along the Seine, and we dangled our feet over the
It's
edge.
like we're going to spend an hour reading today. It's like, we're in Paris, let's go and look around.
No.
But,
What's it, Lamborghinis? No, but
I want to see all the gang material activity, and we'll read a book first.
No, but that's the memory that you've got, and that's the photo. I'm going to put that photo up so you see it. That's the photo of us. It was early in the morning. We were all sitting reading our Kindle. I think I was doing some writing. Yeah. You were reading. Do you remember that, Bri? I think you were just like looking on your map, like stuff, or doing whatever.
I was reading, but I did some videos.
Yeah. And then the sun was it was just a beautiful light. There was canal boats in the Seine. Boats in the Seine. And Eiffel Tower was there in the background. And that train, like you're saying, or the bus, I can't remember which it was. Yeah, it was a train. It went along and it was red, wasn't it?
Green.
Oh, was it green? Oh, and that was Paris, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice.
It was just lovely.
Free car park.
Yeah. That's another good thing. If you go and stay with servers or couch surfers, they give you little tips. And that tip for us was where to park free in the middle of Paris. So that was great.
100 metres from the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I love Paris. I love Paris so much.
Yeah, it's nice.
I found out I was pregnant with you in Paris.
What are you going to say this time then? Found I was pregnant.
No, that'd be a bit difficult.
But no, yeah.
No, it is. And it's hard because it's a cliche. It's one of those cliches, isn't it? It's like, oh, Paris in the springtime, it's so beautiful. But it is.
Yeah,
you can't take it away from it. It is. It's
and
just
I was going to say,
gorgeous.
just before, there was a feeling when you're going to it in the morning, it's like you're going to a theme park, even though it's just a city. But it was like, oh my God, we're going to Paris, I don't know if it's because of the first time, but, it was just like, oh, theme park feeling, when you go into a theme park early in the morning and you're on the way and you're excited and, it was just that kind of feeling.
Did the Eiffel Tower live up to your expectations?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it looked a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as golden as they all make out on all these pictures, it was very metal coloured, but no, it was nice. I really did like it. Bigger than I expected. Like a whole... cafe up there and stuff.
Yes.
It's like, geez, it's a whole city nearly up here.
Expensive, that cafe.
Yeah, it was. Still use the bathroom, though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, my next one then. Hang on. Chiang Mai in Thailand.
Very different than to Paris.
It is, yeah. But absolute. Have you done your last one?
That is my last one.
Yeah. So this is my last one too. My last beautiful place
in the world.
On the earth is Chiang Mai. Oh, and do you know what? I never wanted to go to Thailand. It was not a place I had any desire to go to. I just thought, no, it's just going to be. I don't know what I expected. But Chiang Mai is, I think it's the largest city in Thailand. It's in the far north. And it's a university city set with a backdrop of beautiful, beautiful mountains. And the city itself is so lovely. It's so cosmopolitan. It's just got loads of lovely parks, loads of fantastic places to eat.
Yeah.
I just love Chiang Mai. I've got a real soft spot for it because it's where me and you spent a lot of time in coffee shops thinking about our new life and what we were going to do because we wanted to come back to New Zealand and start an online business. And Chiang Mai is where we first started doing that. Also, Sonny, Chiang Mai is just full of, I know it's like a real clicky word, whatever, like...
Cliche.
Yeah, that word that everyone uses at the time, but digital nomad. I don't really like that word, but it is full of people who are doing stuff online, and traveling at the same time. And it's just, it gives you so much inspiration. You probably didn't feel that because you weren't into that.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it?
I just really like it. It's a nice place.
Yeah.
I didn't have that feeling it was full of digital nomads, but no, I felt like it was just really nice, great food and everything like that, Really is quite a unique place.
It is. And it feels so, me and Brian both had dental work there. It's right up there. It
also feels like it's in the middle of nowhere at the same time.
I know. It's one of those rare places that you feel like you could get fantastic dental work or you could get a fantastic coffee, but it's I don't want to say backward. That's not the word I'm looking for. But it's almost like, oh, what is that word? It's just.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know, like?
You can explain there's a night market, and
You
can go to some of the most.
It's like the best of both worlds.
The most amazing shopping mall.
Yeah, yeah. And you can go. It is like the best of both worlds. You're in Asia, and you feel like, oh, I'm backpacking in Asia, and so you have that feeling of.
Yeah.
I'm really finding it hard to explain, but you have that feeling of like, not you roughing it, but you're in there in Asia doing it.
Yeah.
With the street food and the mopeds and the getting stopped by the police or whatever. It feels like Asia.
Yeah. But at the same time, it feels quite.
But at the same time, I wouldn't go
metropolitan.
anywhere else right now in the world to have any dental work done because.
Other than Chiang Mai?
No, I just what they did on my teeth was amazing, and and just. It was just felt. Stop looking at my teeth. I mean, take a look.
Look at these.
Look at this filling. Anyway, yeah. So I love Chiang Mai. I cannot wait until this travel,
restriction.
Is I think I cannot wait until the world gets.
So you think
back
you'll
to
go
hell.
back?
Oh, I'd go back to every one of those countries that we've talked about. I'd go back in a heartbeat. Would you? Mm-hmm. Where's the first place you would go back to?
Japan.
What is it?
Yeah, probably.
You love Japan.
Did like Japan. Yeah, really did like Japan. Only because it really reminds me of New Zealand.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's just really nice. It's just a bit of a mixture of everywhere. England, Asia, New Zealand,
It is close to New Zealand, the scenery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very similar, isn't it? All right, okay, so anything else you want to say?
No, that's all of mine that I've got. All my beautiful places.
So I think in part 1 and part 2, we got through about 8 beautiful places on Earth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, way more than 8.
Yeah, more than 8, probably about 12, something like that. Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed it, and we're getting quite relaxed now in front of the camera, aren't we, Sonny? Hey? I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it and you want to hear more of anything that we've talked about, then please drop a comment below, because it's really hard to know what to chat about sometimes, because...
Especially at this time, because we're always focused on travel,
Yeah.
One of our biggest things.
Yeah.
So.
But you know what? I think people need to hear about travel and just give that inspiration and those stories and things like that. I know I do. I just...
Knowing that it will come back and stuff. You know?
It will.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you so much for listening, guys. If you did enjoy this week's podcast, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and wherever you're listening. And make sure to leave us a 5-star review. And if you don't, well, that's up to you.
And just stay safe and know that you're going to be traveling soon, and go and see some of these places that we've talked about.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on the podcast. We have loved having you here.
If you guys could subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a 5-star review.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That would be absolutely amazing. And make sure to share the podcast with your friends.
And if you'd like to hop over to the blog, find one of the little boxes that ask you to drop your email. I will send you a newsletter every week letting you know when we've released our new podcast. That will go straight into your inbox. So it's www.itsadrama.com.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week for another podcast.
Look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.